This is a 2004 Buick Lesabre Custom. I think it's a Buick Lesabre Custom Regal. Anyway, so we're going to try and take off this door panel without breaking any parts. Looks like this piece is missing already, and there's a screw underneath there, so yeah, okay. So that's the piece right there. It looks like it's just got a couple of little things that you have to pop down, pop up, maybe wiggle it a little bit. It looks like they broke off one of them while they were trying to get it out. First, what I want to do is get this guy off. And as far as I can tell, there's no screws around the outside on this one, although some of them may have screws around the outside. Okay, so first, there's a little clip in the back here that's going to be, it's going to snap off if we do this wrong. In the front, there's a different little clip that's much easier to pop out, so all you have to do is pry it. Very careful, very slow, not a lot of pressure, but there. See that clip? That's just a little squeeze clip. It needs to just come right out, straight out. Okay. Now that this is off here, you can see that there is a little toothed thing that holds this there. I just wiggled it forward. If it's stuck for some reason, you can stick the screwdriver in the back and pry it. But in this case, it just popped right off. So now with this out of position, I can pull on the handle and pull this out of the space. Normally I'd use a screwdriver, but I only have two hands. There we go. Take out this screw, take out this screw down here. All right, so we have that screw out of there. We have this one out of here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try and just pull on the door. This has a bunch of clips that are just pop in, pop out clips. So I'll start with the bottom, bracing my foot against the bottom and then just pulling softly. Certainly doesn't feel like it wants to come out. So I'm gonna use my heftier screwdriver to pry it just ever so slightly. Each one of these things has multiple little ribs on it. So as I'm prying these out, I'm just going around and prying one rib at a time from each of them. All right, so you can see now it's come loose. This has a cord that's attached to something up in here. So we are gonna take this off. I think there's a little speaker in there. Got one little pop rivet. And yes, there is a speaker in here. All right, so to get this guy off, the little clip is right there. Just pry up on that part right there a little bit with a small screwdriver. And then pull this guy out of the clip housing. Now, inside here, there are these two metal bars, one there and one over here. When you're taking it out, it's real easy. You just pick it up and shake it out of position. When you're putting it back together, you have to pay attention to these metal bars and make sure that they go into this, in between this part and that part right there. You can see that those are what the pop rivets look like that are all situated all around the door. And now I don't need to remove anything else from the door panel. I can just let it sit here and it's just fine. It's not in my way. But if you need to remove it, that looks a bit scary to me. This looks easier. 1, 2, 3. I think that's it. Yeah, and then this would be free. Just put it there and work on this. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is roll down the window and take a look at what's actually going wrong with it. Okay, it rolled down just fine. Seems to be in the track in the front. Can't tell, but I think it's in the track on the back. Now let's try rolling it back up. It's slow. It's off the track. It's slow, but it's working. It's slightly off the track there. This window might just be off the track. Maybe the track's in the wrong position even. Maybe I need to move the track around a little bit. So I'm gonna play with this a little bit and figure out what I gotta do. All right, so I took the window off of the regulator through these two holes here with it fully rolled up, and I found that I could slide this window back a little bit, back towards the back of the car. So I slid it back, and then I re-tightened these up, the clamps to hold the window in place, and that way it's holding it further back. But upon rolling it down and up again, I realized that this is still separating somewhat from the back of the vehicle here. And so upon inspecting further, I found that this rock is because this piece over here is moving when it shouldn't be. So that means the window regulator is busted. Now, technically, this is not a problem. I mean, when I roll it all the way up, it always shoves it back over into that corner now. But I happen to have the brand new regulator. It came with the car. So I might as well change it out anyway and just save this as leftover parts. All right, so first step, we're gonna take some duct tape. We're just gonna put a nice long piece all the way down the window, over the top, down the window on both sides. But I don't trust this tape, so then I'm gonna take two smaller pieces and put them on either side. Cover that piece, keep it from slipping off. Then we're going to remove the two clamps that are holding tight right now, the window in place. And the other one's hidden behind a cord, so I have to put my fingers up in there and then push the cord that way. All right, now with both of those loose, we'll just roll the window down. The regulator came down, but the window stayed up. We got 1, 2, 3. All right, we got to remove this clip here. Just a push down and out. I'm gonna pull it with my fingers. Okay, here we have it. Now that everything's out of the way, we can just wiggle this guy out of position. And there we go. All right, here's our new one sitting on the plastic. I don't want anything getting in the grease, so I'm gonna make this quick. Here's the old one. Let's just inspect it for some quick issues. The cable looks like it's in pretty good condition. It's still running through the channel it's supposed to be in. It's still on this wheel nice and tight. So it's looking good. It looks about the same as this one, but you see this difference here. That's because that's not supposed to be out. It's supposed to be in like that. And you can see all the slack that's caused by that. And that slack was leading to the window rocking back and forth. Whereas this one doesn't want to come out. It's like, all right, here we go. All right, I got it in there, but it's stuck. And that's because it's in the fully up state. So I'm gonna plug this new guy in and roll it down. Two important things to note here. is that when we're getting this regulator into position, on this car it's got to be on this side of the window pane. So this bar here, this track, has to be on this side of the window pane. The other thing that I forgot to do, so I'm just going to do it right now, is that these have to be loose, or this won't be able to go onto the window in these positions. So I need to loosen these before I put them in. Alright, so now we've got these bolts on to secure it in place. It's not super tight, but it is tight. Everything's in position. These are now opened. If they weren't opened, we could have a problem, because as I go to roll this window up, it might actually just smash into that window pane and break it. I don't know. But I won't have a problem like that right now. So I'm going to hit the window up button and secure them into place. Okay. I'm going to feel up in there and make sure that they grabbed on. Yep, they both feel good. Okay, I can see the one in there, and I can see the other in there. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and hand tighten these up. And I'm just going to tighten these down a bit. They don't need to be crazy tight. Now, before I go rolling the window down, I'm going to take this tape off. Don't forget to take your tape off. Could be bad, might put a lot of strain on the motor. All right, we got the door all back together. I lost some footage there, but you know, we just put it back on, and you can see here that it works now. It's still a bit slow. I think what happened is that this window had some kind of adhesive on it, whether it was tape or the peeling that's on the window there got like some sticky goo into the frame there. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a silicone spray like WD-40, but the silicone version, which comes in like a yellowish can, and spray it into that channel, and then roll the windows up and down about 5 times, and it should slick that thing back up to almost brand new. So that's my solution for that. But windows rolling up and down, and as you can see, it's sealing itself up there very nicely now that it's been moved back and the window regulator has been changed. So we're good.